Hey y'all, this is Tony Paradis with Food and Fitness Online. Please check out my website at foodandfitnessonline.com and take a moment to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Today's topic is about CrossFit. CrossFit has been sweeping the nation. It's a very popular mode of exercise. It's a company that gets people together in a group exercise format, and the basic of what they do is teaching Olympic lifting, teaching what they call functional movements, and it's been a really great thing for a lot of reasons, but it also does have some drawbacks with it. So today I'm going to be going over the pros and the cons of CrossFit. And let me kind of review what we're going to talk about, and then I'll go into each one in more detail. So some of the pros of CrossFit are it's group exercise, it's fairly inexpensive, it pushes you to lift intensely, it offers competition, lots of good movements, and it's been a really good thing for Olympic lifting. Some of the cons are that it lacks training specificity, it lacks personalization, it has a higher injury rate than some other forms of exercise, they promote the PALEO diet, and also I believe that it has an improper use of Olympic lifting, and I'll get into that. So let's start off with the pros of CrossFit. So CrossFit has done a lot of great things for a lot of people. I'm not arguing that. I'm not trying to say that you should or you shouldn't do CrossFit. Here's just some of the pros, and you can weigh out the benefits yourself. Some of the pros are CrossFit has group exercise. It's a group exercise format. So for you, if that's something that you enjoy, it offers a little bit of variety compared to other group exercises. Let me go out on a limb here and say that you're probably going to get a better workout more intensely from a CrossFit group exercise than you would maybe going to a step class or a Zumba class or something like that. So if you like group exercise and you like strength training, this could be something for you. Also, it's fairly inexpensive, and what I mean by fairly inexpensive, not compared to other gym memberships where they may include some group fitness for free, but compared to personal training, you're going to pay about $100 a month to work out at a CrossFit box. That's what they call them, their boxes. That's the CrossFit gym. And compared to where you may be paying anywhere from $30, $50, $80 an hour for an individual personal training session, this can be pretty cost effective. But it is no replacement for personal training because it is group exercise. Let me say this, is that one thing I really do like about CrossFit is that it pushes you to lift intensely. It's not about just doing the movement, it's about progressing and lifting heavier. And especially for females, if CrossFit is something that gets you out from using lightweight on the machines, from getting stuck in a rep or a rep range or a weight range, if CrossFit helps you overcome that, then I think that it's a really great thing. Alright, my next point is that it offers competition. So they do have the CrossFit Games, which is kind of a circuit training competition between other CrossFitters, and friendly competition is one of the best things you can do to motivate yourself and just make working out fun. It also has camaraderie and a lot of other great benefits from that. And I think that in part, because of the group exercise and because of the competition and those kinds of things, that is why CrossFit has been so marketable and so successful. Okay, they also do a lot of good movements, and what I mean by that is that they are focusing on doing things like deadlifts, Olympic lifting, a lot of bodyweight exercises. These kinds of things are good movements. If joining a CrossFit gym is something that gets you introduced to deadlifting and introduced to power cleans, when maybe before you're doing the leg press and leg extensions, I mean, you're really going to find a night and day difference between the quality of your workout and just the benefits of doing those kinds of movements if they're performed properly. Also, CrossFit has been a really good thing for Olympic lifting, especially in the United States. Our Olympic lifting team sucks. Okay, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that. Compared to the Eastern Bloc, compared to the Russians, compared to the Chinese, we simply do not place high in our Olympic weightlifting. And this is, could be from a number of different reasons, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that part of it is because there's simply not a lot of interest in Olympic weightlifting. I mean, did you have an Olympic weightlifting class available in your high school? Did you have an Olympic weightlifting team option available in your university? For most people, that's going to be a no. So CrossFit is something that reaches out to a lot of different people and does introduce the Olympic lifts. So maybe in the future we will have more of a U.S. Olympic weightlifting team. Not to downplay our athletes or anything like that. I'm just saying that when you have more people to select from, you can usually beef up your team a little bit better from that. But I digress. So those are the pros of CrossFit. Group exercise is fairly inexpensive. It pushes you to lift intensely. It offers competition, lots of good movements, and it's a good thing for Olympic lifting. Okay, now let's go ahead and talk about some of the cons of CrossFit. And I'm going to be direct and honest with you guys. I am personally not a fan of CrossFit. I would never recommend it to any of my clients, obviously because they're training with me and we offer some different benefits. There's simply no replacement for one-on-one personal training with a training coach. And so group exercise, even if it does focus on Olympic lifting, simply no replacement. But let me get into the cons of CrossFit. Number one, and this is one of the biggest issues I have with it, is that it lacks training specificity. It lacks personalization. The theme, the underlying principle of CrossFit is that they have a WOD, and WOD stands for Workout of the Day. And I'm not saying that these workouts of the day aren't hard workouts or they're not challenging workouts. It's how does this specific to you? Okay, if you have the two different kinds of people in a CrossFit gym at a class, maybe you have a hockey player and maybe you have a wrestler, maybe you have somebody who's just there for weight loss. You can't argue that you're not going to get more benefit for having a specific workout for a specific individual. So that's one of the sacrifices you make when you're doing group workouts, is you have the workout of the day. So CrossFit is not the best workout for all athletes. It's not the best workout for wrestlers. It's not the best workout for basketball players. I mean, it does teach athletic movements and plyometrics and stuff like that. But it's simply no replacement for individualization and training specificity. Alright, so let's leave that point. Also, it does have a higher injury rate. It has a higher injury rate because it simply goes along with the with doing plyometrics. Okay, when you're jumping, when you're doing high impact exercises, when you're mimicking sport movements that athletes are doing, whether it's CrossFit, whether it's strength and conditioning or anything like that, these movements simply have a higher risk to benefit ratio. There's a higher injury rate from doing these. I just read a study about CrossFit talking about its effectiveness and weight loss, and I was really shocked to see it was like 12 or 15% of the participants in the study had to drop out due to injury. 12 to 15% may not seem like a huge chunk, but it is when you're talking about weight training. Weight training, by nature is a very low-risk sport, and when you start adding a lot of plyometrics in a group setting where you can't have as much supervision, you're going to have a higher injury rate. I'm here right now in my office, which is located inside of Cutting Edge Physical Therapy. It is the home of Food and Fitness, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. We get a lot of people here from shoulder injuries from CrossFit. CrossFit is one of the best things to happen to our physical therapy clinic. So it does have a higher injury rate. Okay, another big issue I have with CrossFit, another con, is that they promote the paleo diet. The paleo diet is the idea that we need to eat more like primitive man, that we need to avoid grains, that we need to eat as much as the Paleolithic man ate. So let's talk about why the Paleolithic diet is pseudoscience. It's pseudoscience, meaning it doesn't have a lot of great research behind it because it's built on a lot of armchair theories. How did Paleolithic man eat? In what region of the world did he eat? And how are we going to mimic that sort of diet? You simply can't, because you don't know what they ate, and our food sources today are a lot different. So, kind of starting off with that premise. The other thing is okay, even if you could, does this have benefit? Is there research supporting that the Paleolithic diet is superior to another diet that follows the principles of balance, moderation, variety, and just common sense. You can't. It doesn't. It's just a fad diet. It's a trend, and hopefully it's something that goes away. Paleo diet simply is just a harder way of doing something that could be more effective, of just balancing your calories, balancing your macronutrients, getting the right appropriate amount of micronutrients in your diet. I really can't say anything good about the paleo diet. Okay, finally, my last point that I would like to make is that CrossFit, okay, on the plus side, they do use Olympic lifting. On the negative side, they do not properly utilize Olympic lifting. Olympic lifting is a power exercise, okay, as opposed to strength, where strength is mass times distance. Power is mass times distance over velocity, okay? So you have a speed component to it. When you have a speed component, what you're trying to do is you're trying to build athletic ability. You're trying to make your athletes faster. You do this by working in the power range, rep range of your exercises. This is typically going to be accomplished in a 1 to 3 to 5 repetition ratio. Okay, there are benefits of going maybe a little higher than that, but basically low rep range. Okay, and part of the reason for this is because those fast twitch muscle fibers, those type 2 muscle fibers, they fatigue quickly. These are the type of muscle fibers that you're trying to stimulate when you're doing Olympic weightlifting. What CrossFit does is they take an Olympic weightlifting exercise and they do it for the amount of reps you can do over time, or they may do a higher rep scheme. And one of the workouts that I saw on the CrossFit site is that they would do 30 power snatches, which is an Olympic weightlifting movement. 30 reps of an Olympic weightlifting movement, okay? Just know you're doing this movement to make yourself more powerful. If you're doing it as a cardio burning exercise, if you're doing the 30 reps to build muscular endurance or to get your heart rate up or to burn some extra calories, there's a safer way to do it, okay? Do something else. Do your Olympic lifts in the lower rep range, and you can follow that up, make a compound exercise with something that's going to be safer, okay? Olympic weightlifting was meant to be done in a lower rep range. It's meant to be a strength and power exercise. It loses the purpose of it when you start doing 30 repetitions of something, unless you're just running a drill. I mean, when you're actually lifting heavy weights, you lose the benefit of it when you're dragging ass, trying to get the last 20 repetitions out of a Olympic power snatch. And so that's all I have to say about that. So in conclusion, guys, the pros we went over was that it does have a group exercise element, which can be beneficial to you if you enjoy group exercise. It's fairly inexpensive. It pushes you to lift intensely. It offers competition, lots of good movements, and it can be a good thing for Olympic weightlifting in the future. Some of the cons, some of the issues that I have with it are that it lacks training specificity because it's a workout of the day. It's not your workout of the day, it's the workout of the day. It lacks personalization because of that, because of the group exercise component. It has a higher injury rate because you're doing plyometric movements, you're doing Olympic weightlifting movement in a big group, so there's less supervision, there's less individualization, and also the paleo diet. That's a big con. Paleo diet, it's a stupid diet. I really can't say enough bad things about it. If you want to make a response video to this, or if you want to comment or whatever, that's fine. But if you do, please be sure to cite research comparing the paleo diet to another well-balanced diet. And if I'm wrong, I'll be happy to make a video admitting it. I'll be happy to post it on my website. I would love to be wrong. That's part of the scientific method, is you're always looking for research to replace yours, and I would be happy to do that. So I'm going to put that out there, guys. And if I'm wrong, I'll be happy to admit it. I'm not trying to be right. I'm trying to be a better dietitian. And also, it has improper use of Olympic lifting. I kind of went off on a tangent on that. Once again, Olympic weightlifting is meant to be done in a low rep range. You lose the benefit and the purpose of it when you start doing it as a muscular endurance exercise. So, all in all, my opinion of CrossFit is this. If you have the resources to be able to train with a strength coach, with somebody with a CSCS, and learn the Olympic movements and do those kinds of things in a one-on-one setting, that is always going to be more superior than working in a CrossFit gym. However, if the group exercise is something that you do, maybe you have friends in CrossFit, if you just like the idea of it, then I'm not going to try to talk you out of it. Just be careful. Make sure that you're lifting properly. If you don't know how to lift properly, make sure that they do have highly certified coaches. Just because they have the CrossFit certification doesn't mean that they can't also have maybe a degree in kinesiology or USA weightlifting certification, something like that. I would say that the more certified that your coach is, the more comfortable you can be with doing these kind of higher risk movements. So all in all, CrossFit does have some cons. It does have some pros. I kind of laid it out for you guys. You can decide what's going to work best for you. And I hope you were able to take something from this video. My name is Tony Paradis. I'm a registered dietitian and personal trainer, owner of Food and Fitness here in Flower Mound, Texas. Take a moment to like my YouTube channel and check out my website at foodandfitnessonline.com. Thanks for watching.